Hi, Connor.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Well, I'm pumped to do this. Thank you for taking the time to do it.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on. This will be fun.
So yeah, you want to get into the interview?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We all know how you got into basketball with your dad being the coach of the Hawkeyes. I know saw some really cool stories about you watching film with them. But what I was wondering, how did you end up getting into baseball?
Yeah, great question. So basically, from an early age, my entire family still loves baseball as well. Like that's kind of like our second sport. Um, my grandpa, he got me into baseball. My papa, my uncle Jack loves baseball. My dad played baseball. My mom played softball. So other than basketball, baseball is definitely kind of like our second sport. So that was kind of initially what got me into it, and then I just always really loved playing. So from an early age, that was always my second sport. That was always what I enjoyed doing besides basketball, and I've stuck with that.
You made 7 state tournaments total in 2 sports at Iowa City West. That's something not many people can say.
Yeah, yeah.
3 in baseball, 4 in basketball. What are some of your favorite memories from those experiences?
Man, it was the best. I felt like every year, with basketball, our goal was to win a state championship, and with baseball, it was the same. So I would start by saying, my two favorite memories are the two state championships I did win in basketball. But then, other than that, on the baseball side of things, my favorite memory is probably my junior year. We played Des Moines Roosevelt, and we were down 6-4. We had runners on first and second in the bottom of the seventh with 2 outs. And Jason Strunk came up and he hit like a 500-foot home run walk off.
Wow.
And it was one of the most fun baseball games I've ever played in. Unfortunately, we didn't win the championship, but every time we got to go play at Principal, that was always extremely fun. It's such a nice park, and I always loved it. And that was always the goal, was to get to Principal, get a chance to win state. We lost in the championship twice, and then we got third once. So it was a little bit bittersweet on the baseball side of things, but still, definitely very fun.
Yeah, and I went to Principal Park once to see an Iowa Cubs game, and then Wells Fargo Arena. I got to broadcast there for the state tournament this year. That place is really cool. I couldn't imagine playing there. Um,
Oh yeah.
what has your experience as a dual sport athlete been like at the college level?
It's been very interesting so far. It's been tough. It's been it's kind of tested everything that I've known up to this point, just from a confidence standpoint, a work standpoint. It's double the work. I'm be going. I finished up baseball practices in the fall next week, and then I'll go to basketball practice the next day. So these are just kind of things that I have to do, and I've enjoyed it, but it's also been tough. And I've just kind of tried to just enjoy it while I've been doing it, because this is something that I'll look back on and just be happy that I did by the time I'm done with my career. And especially now, I'm getting on the older side, so I gotta cherish every moment while I get it.
Yeah, it's something that I interviewed Mike Gazelle yesterday, and he said he wishes he was able to cherish it more like he did. So that's great that you're doing that now. And so you get to play in the Big Ten in 2 different sports. What are some of your favorite things about playing in that conference?
I would say on the basketball side of things, my favorite part is just definitely the competition. We go out every single night, and you're lining up against another team that's just going to be a monster. You go in the road environments, and it's packed. These places are just 20,000 fans at some places, 18,000 fans just screaming, and those are the type of environments that you love to play in. And then on the baseball side of things, I think the weekend trips to a place, take like last year we went to Maryland, for example, played a really good team in them, and that entire experience is fun for me as well. We go bus to Purdue, bus to Ohio State, play these 3-game series there in their towns, and it's a really good series, along with just a fun trip, and while still focusing on baseball. So just all the opportunities that each sport brings is what's kind of been my favorite part so far.
Yeah, and like I remember reading an article when I was doing some more research on you, where you were at the Big Ten tournament last year, and then you had to go, and you got up really early in the morning, drove out to Iowa City to play a baseball series. And so, what are your favorite things about the two sports that you play in?
So my favorite things about the two sports I play in, well, for one, I love them both, and on the basketball side of things, I've always just loved the game as a whole. And I've said that before. It's kind of just something that at every facet of the game, I feel like I've learned so much every time I play. Every day, it just becomes you just learn something new, and that's my favorite part. I've grown up in the game, and I'm plan on following basketball forever. And then on the baseball side of things, just the one thing I've always loved is taking at bats. So every time you step in the box, it's such an adrenaline rush. There's few things like it in sports in terms of a competitive battle between you and the pitcher, and that's always been what I look forward to most in baseball.
Yeah, and you mentioned in the question before that how in the Big Ten there's just these 20,000 people who are screaming at you in these crazy stadiums. What are some of your favorite places to play?
It's a good question. Definitely Assembly Hall, where Indiana plays. That one's always fun. I liked we played at the Palestra against Penn State this past year, and that was really, really fun. That was an environment. It was really, really a great time for me. My dad played in the Palestra, so getting to go back there and play in a game like that was amazing. I actually think Williams Arena, where Minnesota plays, is very cool. It's loud, and they have like an elevated floor.
Yeah.
I just think like it's a cool, the barn as a whole, like the whole setup of their arena. It's kind of older, and that place is definitely cool for me. And then Michigan State is obviously loud. Where else? Nebraska is loud. That's a cool arena. I could go up and down the line in the Big Ten, but those are probably, my favorite places, I would say. Assembly Hall, Minnesota. Yeah, for sure.
I remember that game against Penn State last year. It's a really old gym, and they had like these fans that were trying to, cool the place down, and the announcers kept on going, "Oh, it is so hot in here. I couldn't imagine playing on that floor."
Oh, yeah. No, it was really hot.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to go to Minnesota too. That looks really cool with the white court as well. That really is unique. So, what are some of your favorite moments from your college career in both sports so far?
I would say in basketball, it's definitely going to the NCAA tournament and playing in that. Honestly, every time you win on the road, it just is a huge celebration. It's so fun because winning on the road in the Big Ten is so tough. And that's kind of been my favorite part on the basketball side. On the baseball side, I would definitely say it would be any number of our weekend trips because those are always I find those extremely fun. You're traveling, you're on the road, and you're going into a weekend series, and you try to take 2 out of 3, try to sweep. You just bounce back every day. That's been fun for me. My freshman year, Tyler Crockley hit a walk-off home run against Michigan at home, and they were very good. And that was probably the most exciting as a team event. And then this past year at home, we played Nebraska, and I had a pretty good day. I had a home run, but we ended up losing that game, so I can't really say that was like the best day.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, anytime the team wins, I'll go with that.
Yeah, and so you mentioned there with your baseball, your home run there, I saw that, but I've always wondered, I don't follow college baseball that much, and what are some things that makes it unique from, different leagues and the majors and all that other, like even the minor leagues?
Well, the thing about college baseball is, it's a completely different culture. The minor leagues is it's a more professional approach to things. I would say college is you're a group of guys together, and your goal is to get to Omaha, right? That's what everybody works towards, and you're kind of building a culture around that idea. and everyone coming together. It's just it creates a really strong bond, and especially because it's 40 guys on a roster. You have a bunch of pitchers, a bunch of position players, and everybody going towards that one goal is the thing that I would say definitely stands out. For me.
So, what have you been working on in the off season and during COVID with both basketball and baseball?
The main thing is definitely my body. I ran, I lifted, I tried to get in better shape. I tried to start eating a little bit better. I've been doing some yoga. That's been big, and that's definitely been the number one thing, has been my body for sure.
Yeah, my mom does yoga out there every morning. It's
Oh yeah.
That's her big thing. She really likes that. So I remember seeing a Sports Illustrated article a couple years ago on a story on Big Ten Network about your brother Patrick and how you two are really close. He went through cancer, beat it, and you guys are getting to play together this year for a full season, hopefully. What does that mean to you, and what does he mean to you?
Oh, it means everything. Being able to, I got to play with him in high school, which was amazing, and now him coming to Iowa, and we'll play together this year, and probably next year too. Having him here, it's been great. Having your brother, you get to show up and you get to see your brother every day. And I think honestly, like, our games kind of complement each other well. He's a scorer, I'm more of a playmaker, so I can definitely look for him and get him some easy buckets.
Yeah, and that playmaking ability is really outstanding. You led the nation in assist to turnover ratio last year. What was the key to that success there?
I got to put it on my teammates, honestly. They every time I'm passing to great shooters. I had guys around me at all times last year that could score the ball. And then honestly, I would say that the thing, from my standpoint, is just don't force anything. Let the game kind of come to you. Let the game evolve. Try to slow everything down, and that's the biggest thing for sure. I feel like a lot of people, for me especially, my first year, the game was really fast, and everything happened really fast, and that gets you sped up, and it makes you do uncharacteristic things. So as soon as you get in the game setting, you're able to slow everything down. That's when I was able to realize, okay, this is the play, make that pass, and it ended up being assist versus a turnover if I tried to force something on the other side or whatever the case may be. That's been the biggest thing for me.
And so you guys are looking really good this year. You had major success last year, even with guys like Jordan Bohannon, CJ Frederick, and many guys just dealing with a lot of injuries. So as an Iowa fan, I'm really excited to see what you guys are going to do this year. And so with all those guys returning from injury, very few people leaving, how are you guys looking to capitalize on the potential that you guys have this year?
I think that's a great question. I think the one thing that we all need to do is just make sure our team chemistry is really, really good, and make sure that we stick to our one goal in mind, and that's to win championships. That's what we want this year, and we with COVID happening the way that it is right now, we need to be extremely mature. We need to be mentally tough. Things aren't going to be normal. It's not going to look the same as it has in the past, but it's on us to create all these kinds of situations, and we need to be able to go out and perform in ways that we haven't before, and I would say that's the biggest thing for us, is just trying to play this season as normal as we can.
So something that I was wondering, I saw Joe Toussaint really broke out last year as a freshman. CJ Frederick showed a lot of potential before getting hurt. And something I was wondering, and you're the perfect guy to ask as you're on the team, who are some guys who will, be really good for you guys in their freshman year this year?
That's a great question. I would say, for one, you gotta thank my brother, because he's technically, this is his first year. And this will be a big year for him. He's been great. He's put in work on his body. And then, for the guys that have come in, Aaron Bulis has been great. Tony Perkins has been really, really athletic, and shown really, really some good things. Both of the Murray twins can shoot the ball. Chris has some handle and a little bit off the dribble. And then they both are long and they have some size. And then Josh Agundale, I haven't actually seen him yet because I've been at baseball for the most part, but I've heard all good things about him. So, the young guys come in, all have shown, positive things. And I'm excited to. I'll be joining basketball up here soon. I'm excited to see, what they have going.
Yeah, and so your dad is your coach at the college level, which is something that not many people have the opportunity to experience. What is it like for you having your father coach you at the college level?
It's great because, as I said earlier about my brother, the same thing goes for your dad. You come to school every day and you go to practice every day. You get to see your dad. You get to see family. You get to see a familiar face. And then the biggest thing with us is we think alike. So we're on the same page a lot. And I feel like even when he does yell at me, and even if I do mess up, we kind of know. Like, he'll get on me, but I know why. Like, I'm already mad at myself, that kind of thing. And so I feel like that's been, really, really beneficial because, I'm trying to learn something new every day. And, being around my dad and being around, this team and these other coaches that are a part of the staff, it's always been, it's just been extremely helpful for me because, I'm constantly learning new things, picking up new things.
So the Iowa Hawkeyes, they're one of the better known programs in the country, and they have just so much history and great fan base as well. What's it like going out there playing at Carver Hawkeye Arena with all those people there supporting you guys?
It's great. It's amazing because that we have so many great fans. Carver, it's rocking most of the time. Last year I felt like we had some bad luck with like winter storms hitting like on the nights of big games.
Oh yeah.
But it's still. I mean, it's still Carver's still loud. It's extremely loud, and they really. I mean, probably one of my favorite games from last year was the Illinois game at home because it was a whiteout. It was a weekend game. It was like sold out, so loud. Fans were into the game. And it was just a game where, it was really intense. And playing in games like that, the fans really give you that extra boost. So that, it's been amazing playing in Carver.
Yeah, and Illinois is supposed to be really good this year. You're going to show them who's boss, right?
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it always seemed like every possible way, like bad luck could hit you guys last year, and yet you still just found a way to be, as good as you guys were. You were one of the best in the country last year, and that was really fun to watch. So to close out the interview here, I have some would you rather questions. I do this every interview.
Let's do it.
All right, so this is kind of my main one. Would you rather eat Italian or Mexican food?
Oh, you gotta ask any of my friends. It's always Italian. Always chicken parm. My dad's a big Italian guy, and I'm one of the biggest Italian. But I love Mexican too, though. That's the thing. But definitely Italian. Italian food is my favorite for sure.
Gotta love pizza.
Oh yeah, pizza, chicken parm, spaghetti, meatballs, some anything like that. It's great.
Some of my favorite foods right there. So something that is heavily discussed lately, but I know which way most people lean. Would you rather watch a Marvel or DC movie?
Oh, that's a good question. Avengers,
yes,
like that would be. Yeah, I'm gonna go with like the Avengers as a whole. That I think those are great movies. I would maybe lean a little bit towards Marvel, but that's a tough question.
And so the last one I have here is, would you rather be able to fly or breathe underwater?
Probably fly, because you would get places so much quicker. Like, even if I could even just fly like around to class and to Carver, and like I would never have to pay for parking. I just feel like flying would be like the ideal thing. But I don't really like heights though, so maybe it'd be breathe underwater.
Yeah. I lean towards breathe underwater too. I'm not a huge heights guy.
Yeah.
I hate planes. Like, I was stuck in 30-minute turbulence this year. That was just awful.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, well, thank you for taking the time to do this. I had an amazing time.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This is awesome, man. Thank you.
All right. Well, again, thank you. And that should do it for the interview. And see you next time.